Hi. This is a Fenrir jungle game. We're going to have a very standard start on the Fenrir jungle. We're going to go with Assassin's Blading to 2 on Crusher and Blink. What you see I'm doing here is I'm quickly double checking that I'm not mistaken, that you are only immune to knockups in your 3. That is correct, you are only immune to knockups in your 3. What I'm doing here, while we did start the game, is I had a look at what the enemy team is looking like. It's Pele, Kukulkan, Ram, Kukulkan, Athena. And in terms of ability to stop me from doing damage, Pele has a knockup which does not peel away my 3. Kukulkan has absolutely nothing. He has a slow, which the Brutalize does not care about. He has a self-stim in the speed boost of the 2, which Brutalize does not care about. And he has a knockup on his ult, which yet again, Brutalize does not care about. So I'm already thinking that between the jungle and the mid laner being very weak to my kit, mid's going to be my playground, basically. That's what I'm going to do. Also, I decided before I even loaded into this game that I was going to play a very, very aggressive Fenrir of this whole match. I was going to try and evade their blue, I was going to evade their speed, I was going to evade their red as much as possible. And you'll see throughout this match that I do play aggressively. I don't play specifically for kills, but I play to steal their farm. I play to... Well, I'm playing for the late game. Spoiler alert that the game doesn't match quite to get to late game. But that's what my entire plan is. Ra is a little bit slow out of base, and doesn't, I think, hit 2 off this wave because he only hit 1 minion with his beam as he went by. Hades pings his blue, so we're doing speed straight to blue, and then we'll go right past it. Again, like I said, I'm looking to be aggressive, and I know that the mid lane and the jungle have no options to actually peel for me. So they're... As this level 2 fight comes up, as I walk past and hog these, as this level 2 fight comes up with Pele and Kukulkan, I know that my Brutalizer is about to come up, I'm about to get my 5th rune for my Unchained to stun, and there's really nothing that they can do. So I'm just going to go in here and get some damage on the Kukulkan. I'm not looking to follow it up for a kill. I recognise that I've gotten something good, and that that's all I need. Kukulkan's Kukulkan's less than half HP, he's got his pots ticking now, and he really can't contest us as we go and steal their red. As I said, really aggressive. It's 1 minute 15 in, we've cleared wave. I hit Kukulkan a lot, we're going to steal their red. The Pele here is smart. I don't think you see this on the map because she goes there immediately, but as soon as we deviate to go do our red, she goes to do our... Sorry, as soon as we deviate to go do their red, she deviates to go do our red. We just see a glimpse of her there as Ra wards over the wall, and they walk away. So Kukulkan and Pele have stolen our red. Pele, I think, is going bottom to try and gank the Izanami, but this Kukulkan is unaware of what's going on behind him, and is just going to get a brutalized for him. I walk away a little bit, just zone him out from anywhere else in the fight, because I know those 2 are coming, and that's going to be first blood for us. No sign of Pele, no idea what she did, where she went. It's possible she went and did our backs camps. We've just seen her at our other back camps, in between blue and speed. So it looks like she went backwards to go do our back camps while Kukulkan walked forwards and gave up first blood. So yeah, but yeah, still playing really aggressive. Not looking to take every single fight, but every single bit of aggression I can do. And this is the critical play coming up. This is what, to me, decides the fate of the game, certainly in terms of the jungle play in me versus the Pele. I see the Pele's low. If she hasn't seen I'm here, and I'm going to try and steal her speed buff. This doesn't perfectly work because the Pele is smart and knows the timing on my Brutalize and times knock-up post-Brutalize, so I don't get an auto-attack off after her. She wards her own speed buff, knowing where I'm here, so what my plan is here is I'm not actually trying to do a speed buff, I'm building up my runes for a stun to engage on her again, which is exactly what we do. I was expecting somebody else to turn up because I've been there for ages and she did ward it. The Kukulkan, or maybe the Athena, or maybe the Kukulkan even, the solo laner. Kukulkan is the person who turns up, and I kill off the Pele and immediately running. I'm in a lot of trouble right now. You see I'm preparing the Brutalize in case he follows me, which I think he is following me the entire way. I've got the Brutalize the second I hear a sound cue of an ability come in, or Kukulkan, who's just disappeared on the map, might have been coming to me as well. But luckily nobody manages to catch me before I get my Brutalize off, so I'm able to build up enough mana and my cooldowns come back for my 1, and at that point I'm totally secure. And as I use my 1 and turn around, I immediately ward because I thought Kukulkan, Cuckoo, after the Choo-Choo, it's difficult having them both in the same game. I thought Cuckoo might still be coming for me, so I immediately turn around and ward in case I have to keep running. I think I made enough distance with 2 jumps, and I am in fact safe. But I managed to kill the Pele there at their speed buff. I didn't secure the speed buff, and it's still early in the game, so the respawns are low. But what I've really done is made her scared. Pele is terrified of me now. That's not fully true, but I've really shown that I'm willing to make these really aggressive plays and be everywhere. So they know their jungle isn't safe, even as far back as their own speed buff. I don't actually go for another speed buff invade during the game, but she's wary the entire game. And Hades is, with that amount of aggression, that amount of pressure I've just applied to the left side, Hades is able to ward all the way up on his side and get all of their jungle. Meanwhile, Achilles and Izanami with that first blood actually do really well over in duo lane. Achilles double kills both, I think, the Ram and the Pele, and then goes a bit too greedy and gets shut down with Athena. I'm looking for a gank on a Cuckoo here still. I knew I wasn't going to hit that jump, but I made it anyway, just purely for intimidation purposes. Again, I'm playing a really, really aggressive Fenrir. I want to steal everything they've got, and I want to be, I say, very, very aggressive Fenrir. There are more aggressive Fenrir. I'm playing aggressive within reason, right? I'm not camping his speed buff, for example, which has just come back up. But I am present, and I'm making sure my jungle rotations are strong and on time, and I'm also making sure that I'm available for all the fights that happen, as opposed to focusing exclusively on farm. I thought about going on the Ram there, but he's always pushed up under his tower, so we're still back on the farm train. Just clearing our back camps. As I keep walking around, I'm looking for where my next big invade is going to be. I'm thinking probably they're red. I see a big fight happening over right. I consider going to it, but Hades is blue as up and I am on the other side of the map. So it looks like they just have to handle that one on their own. The other team has only just hit 5, so it looks like they made good use of their ults. And managed to secure themselves a kill. We see the red buff has just come up on the minimap, so that is in fact where my next aggression is going to be focused. I make a small mistake here. I should have been more aware of the red timing and gone to contest that immediately. Instead, I've done the standard back rotations, done the blue, done the backs, done my speed. But now we see Ram's gone into the air on the other side, and we see the rest of them are mid, so Izanami's going to clean that Ram kill on her own. I drop the speed buff and I leave it. I plan to come back and get it right out of base, maximize the duration my speed buff is on. As we see, that ends up not mattering in the slightest, and it makes me slower out of base. So overall, you know, 7 out of 10. Would consider doing again. Hades says that Athena teleported over to him on Cuckoo as well, so I come over for a gank, and then I run into Pele in the jungle. Again, I'm playing really aggressive onto the Pele. I didn't actually want to, like, were I not playing specifically this aggressive Fenrir, I wouldn't have done so. I try and jump over her ult and then literally died to her within an auto. Within a single auto attack. My animation for the auto was going off at the same time as hers. Whoever landed that auto first won. That is unfortunate and gives Pele an avenue back into this game. But as we're going to see, not really, because we're being aggressive. Look at the wards on the map. I've paused the video here. But look at the huge amount of wards up on the map at the moment. And they're all deep, aggressive wards into their jungle. We have their buff timers. We know their rotation paths. This aggression down on the blue buff that they did was very smart and very good. I wasn't expecting Pele to be there, and that is why I die. Again, playing it really aggressive, I could maybe have killed the Pele and gotten out, but it was close. Pele did beads in that. I don't think I paid enough attention to what she had. I expected her to have blink because, you know, most junglers are going to have blink, right? Because you want to be aggressive, you want to be the one forcing the engage in the play. You want to get close to them without using your abilities, because then you can use your abilities to kill them. But yeah, Pele beads down. That's what saved her from that, and she beads my ult. So I've got to make sure I actually exploit what I can do as a jungler, get farm. I'm coming over for the Ram here. We see his roll out, and I'm not sure if that's because Izanami's playing aggressive on him or if because the area I just walked over was warded. Either way, he's totally gone. He's under his own tower. I could maybe have gone over and dove that, but I did see on the left-hand side a bunch of stuff happening with Kukulkan and Kukulkan, so I'm looking at maybe going to help that. As I walk by, the red buff spawns, and I'm taking it. Right, again, what I've done here is I've walked deep into our jungle, we've got the wards out, like I'm back past their red buff, and here's this mid lane fight I'm going to come in on. Vengeance on the Pele for killing me earlier, and out, and immediately out. One of the things that a lot of junglers don't do is recognise what they've got and taking it as a win. You see a low HP person and you dive for the kill, and then like 3 of you die to tower because you dive in one by one and just die repeatedly. I recognise what I've got and got out, which is I've killed one person and Kukulkan has to back. I'm not going to aggress on this Athena here. Again, playing aggressive, I was considering doing it, which is why I hit the auto in and got one of her block stacks off, which is always nice. But it's an Athena. She's between their tier 1 and tier 2 towers. She's the tankiest person on their team at the moment, most likely. Again, haven't brought Tab up to check, and I should have. But there's just absolutely no point for me to go on her. She's not valuable at all. We see Cullen over there is proxying. I consider going for it, but again, aggressive Fenrir, steal their farm, bam, here goes his blue buff. That's what he gets for proxying. Well, not that proxying is a bad thing and that you should feel bad for doing it, but like he's proxying over there, so I'm on the other side of his jungle where he isn't. And I'm stealing his blue buff. He's transformed and he's standing right here. And he tries to aggress on me. Like, there's absolutely no point in doing that. I don't want to fight him. He's a solo laner. He's got to level up on me. Absolutely irrelevant. I'm just going to go back and do my farm. Unfortunately, he does manage to go mid, and he does manage to pick up a kill on the Ra here, who shouldn't have overextended, having seen him in the jungle, because I did just obviously reveal him as he went into me. All of our aggressive wards meant we don't have any defensive wards, and we haven't seen the Cullen. But this is where the game gets absolutely locked down. They used a lot to kill that Ra. They don't have anything up now, and my support and my solo laner are aggressing mid and are hella farmed. I'm just farming all these because I don't want to lose this minion wave. It turns out not to matter in the slightest because they've cleaned it all up without me, and I make the call to go gold. We're 11 and 4. We have a 6k lead with all the farm we've been stealing and the farm we've been getting, because we've been getting our own camps as well as getting theirs. So I'm huge. I'm 2 levels up on their Pele. Pretty much everybody's 2 levels up on their counterparts, with the exception of our Achilles support, who is only 1 level up. Shame. Ugh. So we take a quick Gold Fury. While obviously they weren't all dead, we did get 2 kills mid, forced out a lot of ultimates and actives, and there's no way they're going to contest, and we have fantastic ward coverage should they ever try to. We're warding their back camps. That's how incredibly well we're doing. We're warding their back camps and killing the Ram at his T2 at 10 minutes 30. So at this point, I was generally just expecting them to surrender any second now, sort of thing, because it's looking pretty hopeless for them. I haven't snowballed my way, as can often happen in these sorts of games, right? Somebody gets so far ahead that they're 10-0 at 10 minutes, and just hitting level 15, and nobody can fight them, and they're just running all the way through. You see that with Thanatos in ranked, just trying to snowball the game for their team. But that's not what's happening. We've had a couple of key kills and a hell of a lot of buff invades. I go here to kill Kukulkan, and they surrender immediately. The Kukulkan, rather. While this wasn't a dominant jungle performance by me, or really by anybody, it wasn't dominant. It was a lot of smart rotations, good use of farm, good use of clear, and applying pressure where it counted. This wasn't with Death Squad snowballing from lane to lane, killing everybody that gets in our way. Because surprisingly, that sort of approach ends up not rewarding you as much as just farming normally. As you deathball through it, the death timers remain short for their team, and as you get bigger and then they don't get any bigger, the rewards for killing them is lessened, and then you're splitting a wave as a 5-man group, which is just absolutely pointless. While it is efficient, you're missing out on farm in every other lane and all the jungle farm. So you shouldn't be doing that. What we do see here, however, is capitalizing on poor awareness from the Kukulkan early, capitalizing on over-aggression from the Kukulkan into the Hades, and most importantly, stealing all their jungle. Right? I might not have been there for every single fight as jungle, but I stole their red buff, I stole the speed buff, well, I killed her at the speed buff, I stole their blue buff, and I made my presence known on the map, and I turned up to the fights where it counted. I made the right calls, I think, at the right time, and got the Gold Fury. There are definitely bits in there I could have done better, but overall this was an aggressive Fenrir game, making the game feel hopeless early. Had they held on, had the game continued, they had Kukulkan for Phoenix defenses, they had Ram as an excellent late game ADC, they had an Athena, they had Kukulkan, they had Pele, who was actually not doing, who was doing the least horrible rather on their team, and could definitely have made some plays in the mid game. Had I finished the build off, I would definitely have gone into a Brawlers. That was what I was building next, to counter Pele's inbuilt healing and the Diva Gloves that Ram was building. Also Kukulkan's passive HP 5. Beyond that, probably would have gone into Hydra's Bloodforge, and then a defensive item, be it the Sledge or be it Mantle of Discord. With the amount of gold and how far we're up, I probably would have gone for a straight Mantle of Discord. But yes, that's a aggressive Fenrir jungle game for you, and I will see you all next time.